From Dayton, Ohio, Brian Kretzer. From Claremont, Florida, Jason Couch.
Former amateur champions going down.
Okay. Remember, you got to curve them to be good in this game.
Walter Ray, I can curve.
Yeah, we'll see.
Brian, convert the 137.
Didn't know I had that one on there. Well, we're going to be attempting, obviously, to hook this ball and touch the head pin on the left, and the ball will go into the 7, obviously, hopefully knocking the 3 pin over with the head pin. And then when I convert it, hopefully Couch does not. Here we go.
All right, Brian, we'll see. 1-3-7. First shot of our competition. Nicely done by Brian Kretzer. And now Jason Couch, the left-hander, will have to convert the 1-2-10 to keep this match scoreless. First person at 3 strikes wins the competition.
And the theme today is going to be the big hook for both players.
Jason Couch comes through. Converts on the 1-2-10.
The 1-7-10.
Our next shot, the 1-7-10. It's a 7-0 Randy rating.
I'll just go out on a limb and say you're going to curve it.
Yeah, I'm going to curve this one. I was going to throw it straight for the crowd, but I'm going to go ahead and curve it for me.
How much curve will we see from Kretzer? Plenty. And nicely done.
Gotta go big curves.
Couch must bring his big hook to the party to convert the 1-7-10. Nails it. We're still scoreless. Now the difficult 1-2-3-7-10.
You've got a chop in there somewhere.
That's only in competition.
So Jason Couch hoping to predict the Kretzer chop here, leaving a pin up. Will not happen.
Good shot.
Kretzer covers all the pins beautifully. How about Jason Couch? Leaves the 7.
Good count, though.
I know. Don't want to start too early.
Another crazy split, the 5-7-8. Not the kind of leave you normally see from a PBA pro. That's what makes picking it up so hard. Lack of practice with it.
Yes!
Kretzer has the answer one more time. Beautifully done. Now it's up to Jason Couch. Can he convert? No, sir. Number 10 stands for Couch, and Kretzer trying to get the 3 strikes to win this skills challenge competition is up 2-0. A commanding lead. The most pins using the opposite hand. What does Couch have?
Yo, brother. That's plenty. That's plenty.
So if I get 8, I win? The whole thing?
Show us that form you used in the practice lanes.
I'm not sure I've ever been this nervous before. Rosined up the wrong hand. Oh, goodness. Don't die. Don't die. Just don't fall over.
Hook. Yeah!
Brian Kretzer.
All right, yeah!
So Brian Kretzer advances. Coming up, our next Miller High Life Skills Challenge. Last year's points champion Brad Angelo against Brian Voss. That'll be fun to watch. Kretzer Barnes are through. 4 more in the bottom bracket as well. Chris Barnes with 3 others, tied for first in the PBA Tour with 3 TV appearances. He's got to try to crank it up on TV next.
What size?
15.
tire sizes to fit most vehicles. Uniroyal Tires, proud sponsor of the PBA Tour.
Heart attacks aren't always fatal. To help save lives during a heart attack, most doctors recommend the
Patrick Allen looking for back-to-back titles. Takes on either Mike Devaney or Chris Barnes in the final today. There's two gentlemen before their semi, joined now by Randy Peterson.
Thanks, Dave. Mike Devaney, it's been a couple of years since we've seen you last. How does it feel to be back underneath the bright lights today?
It was pretty hot earlier, but now it's a little cooler. Not that nervous. I got a bowl against, probably top 2 or 3 best bowlers in the world, so take it to them. We'll have a good time. A little yelling, a little screaming. Good time.
Thanks, Mike. Good luck. Chris Barnes, you've made the show the last 3 out of 5 weeks. However, you've lost your last 7 matches on television. How do you right the ship today?
Well, there's still no better place to be than right here. And we're going to have a lot of fun today. And hopefully we'll throw some strikes, and we'll see how it turns out.
Thanks, Chris. Good luck. Dave?
Randy, Chris Barnes, Brad Angelo, Brian Voss, Patrick Allen, all tour-high 3 television appearances this year. No one has won more than 1 title except Tommy Jones. Chris Barnes looks for a 6th career title. He does not have one dating back to the beginning of last season, the Japan Cup. Late help on number 7, Barnes' first shot of the day, and as we'll illustrate, what a tremendous season he is having. The numbers are spectacular, but he's not winning on TV. We'll try to figure out why.
Nice little help from his friends there. Almost leaving a stone 7.
PBA Geico Earl Anthony Classic. Last time we saw Mike Devaney on television, he won it. Much different pacing, but perfectly in the pocket. And 60 feet to success for Mike Devaney, leading us to his debut dual matchup, Randy.
Yeah, and the big number, obviously, is the average. 14 pins a game, higher average for Chris Barnes. And, the other thing is experience. I mean, Chris Barnes coming into this show, 39 shows versus Mike Devaney, only 5. Chris Barnes, the last 3 out of 5 weeks, like I said in the interview, 5 all day for Mike Devaney.
For his entire career, that's been it. 5 TV appearances. He's in the pocket there. First time we've seen him on TV in 40 events. It's been a while, but he looks pretty loose.
Well, remember the last time we saw him, he beat Norm Duke after Norm Duke shot 300 in Tacoma. Mike Devaney almost bowled 300 right after it to win his first title. He's not afraid of anyone. All he needs is a good ball reaction, and he can strike with the best of them out here.
And he is one of the best right here in Chris Barnes with a 10-pin. Chris, number 3 in points behind Patrick Allen and Danny Wiseman. Leads the PBA in average, 227.448. He was 3rd last year. Leads the PBA in strike percentage, almost 64%. Number 1 in match play win percentage. And he's tied for 2nd in the PBA Tour top 10 finishes with 7. Tied with Danny Wiseman. I mean, this guy is having a spectacular year, but no titles to show for it yet.
Didn't catch enough.
238.75 average, highest average in match play, around a 64, qualified by just over Torrey Torgerson's high of our 4 finalists today.
Yeah, Chris Barnes is one of the best players the Tour has ever seen. And what he needs is for some good things to happen to him on television.
That's a pretty good thing right there, Randy. What, in your opinion, is going to make the difference with a great bowler like Barnes? Why can't he come through and win on television?
Well, for a while he was going through kind of some mental battles of making some bad shots in key moments. But honestly, the last couple of times out for Chris, he's bowled phenomenal. He's bowled great games, and his opponents have just bowled better. In a 1-game match on television, anything can happen, and things just haven't gone his way.
Back to Devaney. It's for the turkey ball. Start has it. Blitzes the rack. What a start for Mike Devaney. With a 224.45 average, as he acknowledged to us last night, Randy, by far the lowest average, as he asked for a re-rack of the 4 finals on the show. But The big message to us from Mike was, hey, I've got nothing to lose here. I'm bowling perhaps the best bowler in the world in Chris Barnes, one of the hottest, along with Patrick Allen. I'm going to go out and just play my game.
It's a pretty good attitude to have. That'll keep your swing nice and loose. And keep in mind that he's very lucky just to be on the show today. Ryan Schaefer needed a mark in the 10th frame of Game 7 in the round of 8, and he split to let Mike Devaney in.
Had a 4-6-7 split. That did it, Ryan Schaefer. What a start. Mike Devaney looking good.
Watch this, a little drift to the left. We'll talk about it a little bit more in our Dexter. You see the rotation, the side roll, getting the ball to feed right, and then once it goes right, it returns back perfectly to the 1-3 pocket.
Bowling the way he predicted he would last night with us. Front 4 for Devaney, now back to Barnes. Strike here, he's down 20. Wanted that to wheel in, and he has the 2-pin up. Avoided double wood with a 2-8. He's calling for it to hook back into the pocket, Randy.
Chris had a little strategy coming into today. He thought that he may be the only right-hander to be playing the lanes a little bit straighter and a little bit further to the right. Right now, struggling on the right lane.
Well, it's amazing, folks, to think that once again, Chris Barnes may be running into a buzzsaw, and Mike Devaney has not been on a TV show since January, the very beginning of 2003. 40 events. Look at the start from Devaney. The opponents have been phenomenal against Chris Barnes, Randy, as you talked about. Last one was Parker Bowen III in El Paso, January 16th, just 2 weeks back. He lost 279, 258. And Chris rolls a 258 and loses.
Right, which means he struck every shot but twice.
10-pin. Is it happening again to Chris Barnes? Seems incredible. As we've illustrated his unbelievable stats this year without a tour victory. His goal, as we see the tour exemptions down below, the first several bowlers have won majors, including Tom Baker, the world's last year. Tommy DeLuke's unable to compete this year because of injury. And the rest are winners this year, and their exempt status is good just for next season. Chris Barnes' goal is to be...
Isn't it second? There you go.
The top 4 in points. As we saw the World Championship winner Tom Baker there a moment ago, that's what Chris Barnes wants to go. To the round of Super 16, top 4 in points. That's his goal for the end of this season. Mike Devaney's goal, get off the TOC bubble and win a tournament and get exempt himself. Chris Barnes pretty much has it locked up with his points. Great look at the approach of Devaney. Oh my, and there's a split.
And that'll let Chris Barnes right back into this match if he fails to convert the 2-4-10. You can see the spot down the lane. It gets right of it, and when it gets right of that target's on the 10th board on both sides, left and right. And whether you're left-handed or right-handed, you get on the wrong side of that spot, there's a lot of oil out there, and the ball is not going to make it back.
Looks like a skills challenge shot here, partner. Covers!
Nicely done.
Beautiful shot from Mike Devaney of Escondido, California, just north of San Diego. Tonight, coverage of Winter X Games 9 continuing. The men take their turn at the Snowboard Super Pipe as well as the Moto X Best Trick Finals. Live coverage from beautiful Aspen, Colorado comes your way beginning at 9 Eastern, 6 only. West Coast on ESPN. For more Winter X info, log on ESPN.com. Big shot, Devaney. Some momentum after he picked up the tough split. We'll have a conclusion of this exciting semifinal next from Bama.
Pete Weber, PBA Hall of Famer, and a major
bobblehead.
Get a free PDW bobblehead and save $10 on tax preparation at jacksonhewitt.com/PDW.
But you can never get enough PDW.
The PBA on ESPN is brought to you by Odor Eaters with unique Zorbatex technology. Destroys foot odor and absorbs sweat on contact. by Geico. You too could save 15% or more on car insurance. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Baby Ruth, the official candy bar of the PBA. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal. If you're a resident of Alabama, you must determine one thing: Auburn or Alabama. We're 2 hours from the Auburn campus, an hour from Tuscaloosa, where the Crimson Tide plays football. Here's Devaney and Barnes in a great semifinal. And sometimes living the straight and narrow is not the answer on the PBA Tour. Randy explains in this week's Dexter approach.
Two similar approaches right here. I'm going to show you. Watch this. Mike Devaney starting around the 15th board, and you're going to watch this big drift to the left. That's right. He's going this way. He's going to end up sliding around the 28th board. Torrey Torgerson actually starting on the 8th board. And watch this. Man, is he forever going to go this way? Guess what? He slides in the same spot as Mike Devaney. The reason why, guys, is simple. Both players love to play inside, and they have to feed the ball to the right. The further left you walk, the easier it is to throw the ball to the right. Now, once you've thrown it to the right, you got to get it to come back. They do that with side rotation.
A great look at that from our crew behind the approach with Mike Devaney. The drift and release. Barnes works on a spare. Told us last night he feels a little more relaxed on TV. Had been so tense early in his career. Used to, in his words, freak out. Any little thing would bother him the day of a show. A touch high. And 6-10 up for Chris Barnes.
Right by it.
Well, he's confused now. He's not really sure why his ball's doing what it's doing. Remember, in a one-game match, normally it comes down to the player with the best ball reaction. And right now, that's advantage Mike Devaney.
Chris trying to really emphasize to himself as he picks up a 6-10 spare that the overall tournament is a marathon. You've got the 2-7 game qualifying blocks in the round of 64 and then best of 7 matches to get to the show. But once you're on TV, speaking of college football, it's a 40-yard dash sprint.
And he's not been getting out of the blocks well on television, as you can see by his 0-7 last time matches on TV.
Not that way.
And that is a really bad sign.
You believe it. 7-10.
That's when you know your ball's just not facing the pocket the right way. That you leave the pocket 7-10. But you know what? It will all even out. You know, Chris Barnes is going to run into a streak where
but it'll even out.
Every time he makes television, he's going to win. It's just not happening for him right now.
Hasn't been done very often, as you saw. This 3 times the last time by Dexter Look in 91 in Tucson, Arizona. This takes care of the 10-pin, leaves the 7 up, an open frame, and look at the lead expand for Mike Devaney. 43 pins. Chance for a 53-pin advantage as he works on a strike.
This is where your swing starts to get really loose.
Just about curtains for Chris Barnes. This late in the match. Can you believe it? Do we have 2 in a row? Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Back-to-back 7-10s, and you look at Mike Devaney holding the arm. He's got some tendonitis in that right throwing elbow and his tricep as well.
Just when you thought Chris Barnes was done, Mike lets him right back in.
Over the Christmas break, Mike Devaney did not throw one bowling ball resting that arm, and he says on days he's competing, takes a long, hot shower to loosen it up, then he's got to wrap it immediately.
See the spot here? Well, watch this. That ball's just right of it and just a pinch light. Of course, that ball would probably strike 8 times out of 10.
Incredible. When was the last time we saw back-to-back 7-10 splits?
I don't know.
I'm not sure I have. Not on TV anyway. That really has to hurry. Another split disaster for Mike Devaney as it's way light.
Watch this. And watch the spot down the lane. That's the 10th board. This one, 3 boards right of it, spells disaster. Remember, he's already made this once.
Today. Wow. Tough splits to face for our semifinalist here. Interesting match. Doesn't get the 10. Back-to-back opens what was once a huge lead is now within range for Barnes heading to the 8th frame. He's down 20. Unbelievable.
Man. All right, Chris Barnes now. Ball change. He's moved left on the approach. Let's see if it works for him.
Nope. Way light.
Good change.
1-2-8 says good change. He thought that was the right ball change and the correct move, looking for the better ball reaction.
Wow.
Didn't get it.
Well, and believe it or not, he's still not out of it. If he converts here and strikes out, he'll shoot 204. No strikes on the right lane. He'll finish on that lane. He better figure out something in a hurry.
Does cover the double wood. Sarcastic reaction of joy for himself there.
Let's throw one here and make this interesting.
Strike here. He strikes out in the 10th. He shoots 204. Mike Devaney strikes, spares 9th and 10th. He'll shoot 204.
Much better. A big strike there for Barnes in a game where both have struggled mightily. He still has a chance.
See, and there's the difference. Remember the last time on the left lane with the other ball, he pockets 7-10s. This ball hits right around the same spot. Caves all 10 in.
Wonder how that elbow and tricep are feeling right now for Mike Devaney. Is it weighing on his mind, or is he focused? He's playing hurt, folks. Late help.
Now, the last two shots been right of the spot. Spelled disaster. See that? Right over the dark strip on the 10th board at about 45 feet.
A strike and 6 pins will put the match away for Devaney and send him to the final to take on Patrick Allen.
If he doesn't strike on this ball, we have the possibility of a tie.
And a roll-off. There's one. Has that strike. Now he just needs a 6.
And they always double. Did you hear his comment when he struck? That's dinner.
And Chris Barnes in the background, none too pleased about that. Realizing full well things are just about over for him. Again on TV, it'll be 8 straight TV losses for Chris Barnes. He has just been fantastic to get to the show, but once he's on TV, can't get it done. He gets 9 pins, so he is a winner.
Seconds aren't tight, are they?
Mike Devaney has wrapped this one up. Mike Devaney will take on Patrick Allen. The hottest bowler on tour takes on Devaney when we return to Birmingham, Alabama. Mike Devaney defeats Chris Barnes in the semifinal. He'll take on Patrick Allen coming up. Special thanks to David Koshat, Goldie Paynes. Beautiful center here in Birmingham, just opened last March, 10 months, and it has been a spectacular host for all the bowlers in our ESPN crew. Tonight, coverage of Winter X Games 9 continue, and the men take their turn at the snowboard super pipe, as well as Moto X Best Trick Finals. Live coverage from beautiful Aspen comes your way beginning at 9 Eastern, 6 on the West Coast, only at ESPN. Also live Winter X coverage after bowling tonight. Welcome you back. As PBA fans know about Chris Barnes and his accuracy on tour, is he dead on in his taste of music as well? Find out on this week's Miller 6-Pack.